So far we've been able to post a new country to the database. As you can see, we can fill and post, and we can also view the details. Like in this case, we have the details. We can't add anything or edit anything in the details, and this is working fine. Today we are going to be talking about editing a record. Currently, if I click on edit, nothing happens. If I click on delete, nothing happens. So let's quickly work on edit, and this will be part 23, I think. And if you are joining me for the first time in FleetMS version 3, please subscribe to my channel. And also do leave me a comment if you have any challenges following my classes. There's FleetMS version 1, version 2, and this is version 3, which covers everything full stack development from Angular front end, Node.js, back end, PostgreSQL, database. We're going to also be talking about document store, NoSQL database, that's MongoDB. And today we are going to be doing editing a record. So let's go ahead to get started. Step by step is right here in my website, because as I normally do, I create a step by step so that you can see all the step by step and also the code snippets you want to copy. And then the complete application is right there in my GitHub repository. You can find the link to the repository in the description of this video. So in case of edit model, we have to duplicate the add new model. So I'm going to the add dialog. So there is add dialog, and I'm going to simply copy it and then paste. So there is the add dialog. I'm going to simply copy it and paste. So it's going to simply be one more dialog, and the name is going to be edit dialog. So it's quite intuitive. Edit dialog, and I'm going to say editing country record. Okay, so change the ID to content. So in this case, I call it edit dialog. So instead of content edit, remove all the ID attributes from the input. They are not mandatory. So I'm going to remove all the ID attributes. They are not mandatory. That's the instruction. And if I don't remove them, they are going to conflict with the ID attributes available in the post or in the add new form. So I'm going to just remove all the IDs so that there's no conflict. So I'm going to remove all the IDs like this, and I'm going to just remove this one as well. Should show you. Okay, that's fine. So the next step says step 3, remove all the ID attributes. They are not mandatory. You can also choose to leave them, but you have to give them a unique name. For me, I just think we are going to remove. Modify any other conflicting ID. So let's see. So for now, I think everything should be fine. Okay, so change the name of the attribute to form control name. And we're also going to remove the ng model. So in this case, I think we will be using Reactive Forms. I've not talked about it, but I made a tutorial about Reactive Forms. It's very important. So check the description of this video. You see a tutorial about Reactive Forms. It's going to be a little different from the template-driven form we use in the adding a new country. This time we are talking about Reactive Forms. The difference between a Reactive Form and a template-driven form is a very common interview question for Angular developers. So take note that you need to know about this difference. So now in the form here, so instead of having this template here, I'm going to remove everything for now. So except the no validates, I'm going to remove everything. And this time I'm going to simply have form group. So for now, we're going to fix this in a minute. And it's going to be equal to, edit form. So let's call it edit form. Okay. So the input now, instead of the name to be just name, is going to be form control name. It's going to be form control name. So instead of name. So I'm going to copy this. So in this case, we are not. Okay, I think we will need the ID here, because if we're editing, we need to send the ID to be edited across. So it means we are going to add one more form group, which is going to be the ID. So I'm going to add it right here. So this is going to be the ID. I think I got it right. Form control name ID. And we're going to change every other one from name to form control name like this. Change. And it's going to be form control name. It's going to be form control name. It's going to be form control name. And it's going to be form control name here. Okay, so now we want to now set up the form submission. Now we've set up the reactive form, and we're going to make sure that let's change this one to updates. Okay, so if you look at the edit form, the value at the form tag, you'll notice an error, right? So that's what we have here. We have an error here. To fix this, we have to open the TypeScript file and create the edit form field, and it will be of type form group. Okay, so I'm going to go to the TS file, and we are going to create a type of edit form, and it's going to be form group. So let's see. We are going to step one to create edit form field. Okay, in the form group. So let's go back here. Let me see if it can give me some intelligence. It doesn't. So I'm going to this place. We are going to create edit form. So I'm going to say, is it going to be private or public? Let me make it public. Edit form, and it's going to be of type form group. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about this a little later. Then in the to launch the edit form, we are going to add in the table, we are going to go to the edit button, and we are going to add a click event there, and we are going to say open edit. Now there is a function we've not written. We're going to write it, and we're going to call it contains edit, and it's going to be country. Remember, this is similar to what we did details dialog, so it's actually edit dialog. So we've not written this form, but we're going to do it. We will now build our reactive form, and to do that, we add a parameter to the constructor of type form builder. Okay. So I'm going to the constructor, we are going to add a parameter of type form builder public. Sorry, not you. Public FB is to be of type form builder like this. Why do we have? I think I need a comma here. So for you to work with a reactive form, you need to build this form. To build a form means aggregating all the values of the controls in this form, or the values of the fields in this form and their content. So now we are going to now build this form on a init method, so that when the application launches, this form is built as an empty form. So when something enters into the fields, it will be assigned immediately to the form. So here on init method, I'm going to say this.edit form this.edit form. I'm going to use a form builder to build this.f sorry, not you. .fb group, and here we now specify the content of this form. So we need a number of things. We need the ID continent, and a whole lot of things. So let's enter them. So we have the ID is going to be, for now, let's just keep it like this. The script. So all this is going to be string. So for now, for initially, all of them is going to be empty string. But this form we are building understands these input controls in the form. So wherever you enter, that is going to be automatically assigned to this form builder here. So I'm going to just make all of them. In this case, we can just leave this like this. Okay, so in the open edit function, we will execute this open edit, let's see. This open edit, we've not written this form. This is a function that's going to execute when the user clicks on the records, on the edit for a particular record. So we are going to copy the function for the open details and change the name to open edit, right? So I'm going to go to the country.ts file. We are going to simply copy the function for the open details, which is this one, and simply change it to open edit, because we open details is about the same thing. And in case of open edit, it's the same thing, but in this case, we will have this form will not be read-only. It will be editable, unlike in details where it's going to just be read-only. So open details here, I've copied. So I'm going to just paste it again here and change from open details to open edit. And we have console.log. I would like to remove all this console.log because they don't help. You just make the code verbose, and now this time this one's refusing to go. Okay, so the size, the width and the height of the form is about the same. Okay, so we're also going to delete all this because in reactive forms you don't need to assign this manually, because this reactive form module understands that the fields are bound to the form. So let me see where this error is coming from. Have open edit dialog, and so why do we have this? First, let me save everything. So it says parser missing expected at the end of expression. Let me see. Oh yeah, so I think I need to have this here. Okay. So, why do we have another error? Where is this error coming from? I don't know. Okay, somewhere here. Oh yeah, form group edit form. Okay. Okay, so we need to import, in our app module.ts, we need to import forms module and reactive forms module. So I'm going to say forms module. Okay, that's been imported. So I need to import reactive forms module as well. So that solved the problem. Okay, so so the next thing we want to do is we want to now test it to see if it actually works. Let's edit. Now let's write the code to load the controls with data. Okay, so let's go to click on edit. Let's make sure everything works. This one works, so let's take it out. Details works. Just try another one. It works. Edit. Okay, perfectly well. So edit works so far, and so the next thing we want to now do, I don't know if I have enough time, we are now going to write the code to load the controls with data, as you can see here. So add the code below in the same open edit function that you use, that was used to open the form, so that the complete open edit function is going to be as shown below. Okay, so we now have to, after opening the form, we are going to patch the values. So it's going to be this.edit form.patch value. So I'm going back here. So when you open the model, in this case, this open here. So I'm going to say this.edit form.patch value. Patch value simply means edit, put in the editable values there. So we are going to have this and then specify the values we want to edit. So it's going to be ID. Let me write it all first. So I have description. Okay, so this is where we are. Next part we'll now look at API endpoint. I'd like to treat this separately. Now we have the API endpoint, it's working perfectly well. So this code should work to actually edit. So let me save everything. Let's test it out just to make sure. So this time if I click on details, just to make sure I don't break nothing, and click on edit, it shows the ID of 11, but it doesn't show nothing. So ID of 12. So let's go back to check. So we have, okay, so this is where the problem is coming from. We need to remove all the ng models from here. So remove all the ng models. So I think this should be the problem. So I'm going to save everything, and this time it should work perfectly well. So if I go to edit now, it displays everything, but update, we've not written the function to update. I think we can actually do that now. So I'm going to just go to the next item because I actually would not like to split this video any further. So we have the API endpoint and we have onSave. So this button here, I'll simply remove this and I'll simply add the onSave. So click, event is going to be onSave, onSave, and this is going to be it. So in this case, I'm simply going to copy this. So let's go back to write the save. So this is on submit, and I have another one is going to be on save. And in this case, what we are simply going to do is to actually send this updated form to the endpoint for save, for update. So the URL for edit, I'm going to simply copy it here and simply paste it. So let me paste. There is a URL, and here is going to be 8880/countries and /countries/edit. So let's just go and make sure that we have the correct URL for edit. So if I go to the country controller in our Node.js application, we have the put, so it's /countries/ID. So there's no edit literal there. So I'm going to come back here. So I'm going to remove this final edit from here. Okay, so /countries/ID. And we are now going to say use HTTP client as well. So I'm going to say these.http client dot, in this case is going to be .put, and specify the edit URL and the value or the form value. So it's going to be this.edit form.value. So about the same, and we're going to say the subscribe. So the subscribe, and we are going to now specify an arrow function in here. It's going to be equals. It's going to be an arrow function like this. And we are going to say what's going to happen is going to be once it sends this item to the backend and is updates, we want to reload the table. So I'm going to say whatever result for now. I'm not sure we expect any result, but let me just add it there. And we are going to simply reload the table by saying this.ng on init. So just to reload the table, the form, and this the dialog dot close. Sorry, that's you. Dot close all. So after inserting, we reload the table and we close the dialog. So what I'm going to do now, let's go try it out. So let's say we want to edit Canada, and we want to change the capital to Ontario instead of Ottawa. So I'm going to say update, and nothing happens, and so I'm going to go to inspect. So actually it's updated, so you can see it updated here. So the problem was that it did not dismiss the form. It actually updated but did not dismiss the form. So let's go try to, so if I go to, let's say, France 11 and change it to France here and update, it updated, so but it did not dismiss the form. So you see, in case of France, you can see it updated right here. So it's actually working, but form it doesn't dismiss. So why did it not dismiss? This is a dialog that close all. So why did it not dismiss? That's a question. Okay, so dialog that close all should actually be outside. It should be outside to somewhere here. Okay, so this is where the problem is coming from. I don't want this to take so much time, so let's go test it out one more time. So I'm going to remove this, and let's assume this number 17 is empty. So let me just add maybe, let's say South Africa, or let's say Brazil, and just say update. So in this case, just Okay, so it worked here, but for some reason it didn't update. So we are going to fix that a little later. So I would like to thank you for viewing. Please, if you have challenges, do let me know. This is how to do edit. Please take some time to follow it, and I think it's going to be clear to you. Sorry, I made some kind of mistakes along the line, but this actually gives you some debugging skills. And let's see in the next part where we are going to be talking about doing delete or deleting a country record from the list. And I remain Kind on the Tech Pro, and I'm always there for you.